Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Candid Conversations. My name is Rian, your host, and today I'm here with Nathan, aka my love. Yeah. Drop those hearts in the comments. Let me see them. Anywho, Nathan, say hi to our listeners, to our viewers, and let them get to know you a bit more.
All right. My name is Nathan. I'm a big fan of the show, Candid Conversations, and I'm happy to be hosted today.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
excited to have you. So, people, have you? No, I think you have gone through this. I really think you have. Like a time when you're going through old messages, maybe pictures, could be a playlist that at some point was full of love. But my God, going through it right now, it's just so confusing. Yeah. So today we are talking about heartbreaks and healing from them.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah. Nice one.
Our listeners are ready. Anywho, we have a couple of questions, and Nathan and I are going to be sharing. Yeah, as we share, guys, drop comments. Let us know what your thoughts are. Yeah, I'm just going to go through them
Okay.
and we'll enjoy.
All right.
So, Nathan, meanwhile, we are calling this Unfollowing Your Past.
Okay. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. Uh, does one completely heal from a heartbreak? And before you answer that,
Yeah.
it's one question packed with so many questions.
Okay.
Why does it hurt so much?
Mm-hmm.
Why is letting go? Why does letting go feel so hard?
All right. Does one completely heal, and why does it hurt so much?
Mm-hmm.
Why it hurts so much? It's pretty easy. It's because it's the heart that's involved. I think because love and relationships take place very subconsciously, largely at the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And while
This heart that pumps blood.
yes, and while the inside,
wow.
and while it would be easy like to deal with maybe mind issues or physical pain, I think it hurts so much because it's in the heart, and part of the struggle is just being able to reach what's hurting and identifying it. And so it hurts so much because love does function in the heart. And when you look at a relationship in that sense, or even a breakup, the pain is because of the memories, is because of how they made you feel. It's a whole emotional package that is playing out in the heart. Yeah, the heart is like the most fragile. Yeah, it's that place that you can't really figure out with much ease, and that's why the heart seems to be so much and takes so long. That's just what comes to my mind really when you ask why does it hurt so much. Yeah. Yeah.
What I think, like when we are in a relationship, we are past like logical past the mind.
Oh yeah, I agree.
It's not okay, I think it's in the emotions, like you've said. When you said heart, I was like, there's this heart, which is not the heart that pumps blood, but the heart. Anywho, so like that's where relationships happen. So it's not like I'm just going to switch off that, you know what, now we're not in a relationship anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn off my emotions, stop caring. We had dreams, we had painted this whole picture together.
Yeah.
And now that's not happening anymore. Like it goes beyond the mind.
Yeah. And the other way you can look at it is the more the relationship grows, the more beautiful it is, the more heart entanglement there is. And so it's like the more you're setting up yourself for more heart if it failed. So a relationship can be like, climbing up a mountain, the better it is, the more exhilarating, the higher you go, the fun. But it also means that if you dare fell off, the harder the fall as
I
well.
know.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my God.
yeah, so it's like you're enjoying a beautiful thing, but the more beautiful it gets, the
potential
yeah, the
for
more,
pain,
yeah, exactly, the higher the potential for pain
is up there.
yeah, that's true.
Anywho,
Yeah.
all right. Next, how long does it take to heal?
How long does it take to heal? So yeah, so first of all, we need to acknowledge that there's healing that can be quick and easy,
Okay.
based on how significant the relationship was, or how serious, or how developed, or how further along, or how these two people were both engaging. Yeah, and so I kind of think of a relationship. Let's say this relationship with somebody called Jay. And yeah, not to mention names, but let's code name Jay. No, those are just code names. Yeah, just code names. Is we were young. We were like in school. We actually didn't know what this whole thing was about. It was more like experiencing something we had been told to stay away from for a very long time of our lives.
Exploring.
Yeah, exploring. Yeah, so it did not hurt when we had to break it off, because there wasn't much there. We had no idea what people in relationship
You were just writing later.
Yeah, exactly. It was simple. It was nice. It was just, yeah, so it didn't really hurt. And I just wanted to say that, because it is valid for somebody to say the breakup didn't hurt based on the circumstances. So we just don't want to say that whoever says, oh, it didn't hurt, they're lying, or they are or they are storing up something, or they are trying to hide under the sand. There are circumstances where it can be possible for it not to hurt. But I think for the sake of this conversation, we're kind of thinking of those where it actually does hurt, because of maybe how far we've gone, and how serious we are, and how mature and intentional we are in the relationship. And in that context, I first of all agree with you. It does actually take long. It does actually take long to heal, in that sense.
How long is long?
Yeah, so long is also really very subjective. Again, I could say the length of healing can be dependent on, first of all, how much work you are putting in pursuing the healing. Yeah, one of my heartbreaks that I was in, I wasn't very intentional about finding healing, and so I didn't heal long. I took too long to heal, because I wasn't trying to address like what happened. I was trying to like close my head off it, I was trying to kind of forget and hope that it just goes away. Yeah, and so it kept on popping up at certain instances in time that were stark reminder that, oh, you haven't healed, or you haven't dealt with this relationship. So you have to put in the work to find healing. What were some of those things that were reminding you that I haven't healed? I think, just like you said in the starter, I think memories. There were events and places that triggered memories, and so then the memory comes with like with like pain and emotions and all those things, and then you remember, oh, and even just maybe meeting them physically, an accidental bump alongside the way, like, and you're feeling a certain, like, oh, I thought I shouldn't be feeling this based on what happened. And so yes, so I mean, those are some examples, but the work, I think we must be intentional about pursuing healing. Then we will receive it. But also, apart from our work, it's also the circumstances under the relationship. There was a relationship that I was in, which was very serious. There was an engagement involved, and so the entanglements were a bit deeper. Yeah, so it took a bit longer because of just how further ahead the relationship had gone. Yeah, because now you have their friends to deal with, their mutual friends to deal with, be introduced to family and stuff like that. And so everybody's like, oh, I thought. And you're like, no, yes, no, yeah, you have done a few things together. Yeah, so then the healing just takes longer, because there's a lot of things to unpack and kind of reverse compared to maybe a newer one that was just in the beginning stages and ended at a stage where there's a little less to roll back. Yeah, so it takes long. Again, it takes long. It takes as long as you are willing to work at it.
Work at it.
Yeah, if you're putting in a lot of the work, it can move. You can move that journey along a bit faster. Yes, and then depending on just how developed the relationship was, you'd have to be a bit more patient because you require time to unpack some of the entanglements that people find themselves in. Yeah, I think that's it.
So you don't believe in like when people have gone far, that healing is going to be like instant. Is that even possible?
I think, I mean, I don't know. I'd love to hear a story of somebody who said it was instant, but it does not add up.
Okay.
Yeah, it does not add up to claim or to desire that it is instant. It's just like if you've walked forwards a journey of, let's say, 2,000 kilometers and you have to return. It's unfair for you to expect to be back if you've taken 100 days. It's unfair for you to expect to be back in 2 days. Yeah, it's just that you'd have to trek. There are things you could do to move it along a bit faster, but it's still going to have to
take a bit of time.
To take your time, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
okay. Healing. So guys, be kind to yourselves. Yeah. Be kind to yourselves. Important. Will I ever stop thinking about them? How do I stop missing them? Is it okay to still love them?
Okay, so let's do one by one. Will I ever stop thinking about them? It's more like a yes and no. Okay. One is because you are not an idiot, so you'll always remember that you had an ex called somebody, and there will always be a thought that crosses your mind in relation to that relationship. So again, I think the goal should not be, I don't think it should be like to completely erase them out of your memory. I mean, if you can, maybe, but I don't think that's realistic. But I want to understand it in the sense of, will I like ever stop thinking about them in the sense of the pain, the heart, or the good memories, or the moments that we had? And I think that's possible. Yeah, it's possible for you to, and there are things that help. One, I think one of the things that does help is if you move on. Like when you move on relationally, then they no longer occupy.
First, wait, move on relationally, like get into another relationship?
Not really. Yeah, it could be moving on relationally.
Then I be rebounding?
No, moving on relationally could be different things. You know, one of them could be actually getting into another relationship.
I'm not healed.
No. You could heal.
How am I giving myself time to heal in another relationship?
I mean, no. You are not getting me.
Okay.
For now, I'm just saying, the existence of something that fills that space can actually be a great way to stop thinking about the past. I'm not saying that should be the intention for a new relationship, but I'm just saying that there is a possibility that the next relationship, which is good and better, helps you forget the old relationship. That shouldn't be the purpose for pursuing a new relationship.
And then I stress the person.
No, should be the purpose for pursuing a new relationship. But I also think stopping thinking about them, I think, like I said, it's not erasing them from your memory, but it's just disassociating with the pain that comes with the memory. I think that should be the goal. Yeah. And when you pursue healing, and when we talk about healing, I think let me kind of break it down to what healing means in my context. And I would like to say, I'd like to use two words, wisdom and faith. Not that these two cannot coexist, but it's just my way of splitting these two ideas that help healing. So what wisdom means, the actions that we do to get us to a better place. For example, if you want to heal from a relationship that's paining you, you're going to have to distance yourself from the person who caused you the pain. True. So that the distance kind of brings a bit of recovery. So that's an action, that's a wise thing to do. Now you're going to have to address your shortcomings, maybe a bit of self-awareness. What happened in this relationship? What was the problem? What was my contribution to it? What was their contribution to it? Just asking the relevant questions and finding out what you could do as an individual to be a better person in a relationship context. It's more like text to hard. Yeah,
Like at that start, especially.
Yeah, definitely. But we kind of have to acknowledge that it takes two to tango. And so wherever there's a heartbreak, everyone has a part they have played 90% of the time. There may be some exceptions. And so what is my responsibility in this heartbreak? And what can I do to be just a better human being? That's like wisdom. So the different actions they tell us, and finding other distractions, keeping distances, self-awareness, all those small things that wise people have advanced as ways to heal. I really believe in them.
For some of us, it was circumstance.
Yeah, I really believe in them. Sometimes just getting busy and not being idle.
True.
It keeps you occupied on different things.
I have a story on that, which is so silly.
And then so there's wisdom, and then there's the other part that I would call faith.
Okay.
Faith is knowing that that God heals the brokenhearted and restores them, and pursuing that from God, knowing that there's a spiritual part that requires healing as well. And I think as a believer, that's the advantage that we have, that in addition to the wisdom things we can do, we also have a Father who cares, and then we can take to him a broken heart, and then he can mend it, and then he causes us to speed up the healing as well. So when I talk about healing, I'm talking about those two things, the actions that people recommend, and then just a relationship with God that can mend a broken heart. Yeah, divine intervention. Yeah. And that's so what's your story about?
My funny story. So this heartbreak that happened, I was about to do my exams, my master's exams. Such lousy timing. Guys, be nice. Anywho, so the relationship ends. I said, Jesus, I'm going to do exams next week. How am I going to manage? I don't even know where I got that grace, guys. I used to go to the library at 8 a.m. and leave at 12 midnight. I would read.
Yeah, buried yourself.
Read, discuss. What? My friend, I didn't have time to think about the heartbreak. But after I finished the exams,
it all came rolling back.
It's you've been putting us on pause now.
Is there ever a right time for a heartbreak? Yeah, when they say when you go to a restaurant and it's going to be a breakup, fast, have the meal fast. But then there have been stories where somebody ate and then they gave the news and then they threw up. So it's there's never a good time,
honestly,
for a heartbreak.
Guys, study the environment, the situation.
There is never a good time. Just get done with it.
No. If we are going to eat, first allow me to enjoy my food.
Well, you could throw up
no, at least I've eaten the food and I live satisfied.
And then I have to pay a bill for.
Yes, you pay what I've eaten for or something. And then now me who was going to do exams, really. Avoid me for the whole week, and then call it off after. But Jesus, I'm being sensitive. I cannot.
Yeah, what if there are also things on his end that he was trying to time structure?
No, now that you've said it, I remember Kowanga that brother.
He also had time
He was there
as well,
trying to make his stories fit.
Your exams were not aligning.
There was such a non-issue. Non-issue.
All right,
Anywho,
there was something still.
Is it okay to still love them?
Is it okay to still love them? First of all, as a believer, I think it's okay. I know it's
so. So we're talking about agape love, not what's the love?
Yeah.
Is it filial what? I don't know. That one of emotions.
Whatever it is. So the thing is,
agape love is okay, but the other one is not okay. Maybe at the start it's okay. I don't know.
When Jesus talked about love, he just called it love. So it's just the human classifications are just trying to create semantics around love. But let me tell you what I mean. I mean, so that love that you have for for a mate should always be different from any other love.
True.
Yeah, and then there's the rest of love.
General
then there's
happiness.
Whatever.
So he can or she can be in general happiness.
But it's still not easy. It's still not easy.
That's true.
To be in general happiness, to wish somebody well, somebody who hurt you well, especially when you're the offended. But some people drive, and when they are the offenders, they still can't love. It's like guilt and shame or something.
You're the one who caused the pain, and then you're not wishing someone well.
Yeah, I was just thinking of a relationship where of an ex who had to come into my space a bit later, and then she had to be there, and I couldn't send her away from the space. And this was a space where I was ministering, and then I had to show love. The good thing is that for me, I always believed that no matter what happened, I could love a person and wish them well in that sense. So it was easy for me. But I'm thinking, what if I thought differently? How much more difficult would it have been when I was in university? My ex was the class discussion leader, the smartest girl in the class, and I needed her to pass. So I didn't have the luxury of hate and dislike, because I'd lost the relationship. I couldn't lose the degree, So I had to humble myself and love and allow to be in the discussion and be taught and be helped and be supported in that sense. I know it's not easy. Also, based on the amount of pain and hurt that happens, every relationship breaks in a different context, and sometimes in contexts of pain and abuse and great betrayal. Love can be a difficult thing to give, but also that's the healing we're talking about.
True.
Trust that God can get us to a place where we can love again, like He commanded us to do. Loving is a very godly thing.
True.
Humanly, we are only able to love the people who love us, but with the help of God, then we can love the people who hate us or who we hate or who hurt us. Yeah,
we love them.
Yeah, so yes, we should love them with God's help.
Truly, with God's help. With God's help. That's very true. Me, my answer, I don't know. It might be more as humans. But okay, it's not that you hate the person, but I'm just not, and I wish you well, and it's just that I'm not like involved in your life. I am not there anyway, being like engaged.
I hear you.
I don't hate you, but I don't know whether to call it love.
But I'm not very enthusiastic about your affairs. But I also think even in the love thing context, it should be also in the context of time, in the time to heal, in the time to forgive, the time it takes for somebody to forgive you of your mistakes. So it's so fair to ask that we break up today and I start to love you the next week. I think it's also in the context of I need some time to make peace with what happened, to forgive you for the pain, to let you out of my heart, and then try, even when I fail, to extend that love. Yes, and yes, it can look different. It may be a bit it may be a bit non-proactive, but I'm not going to look for you in order to love you. Maybe I'll wait when you show up in my space, and I'll be respectful, I'll be kind. Because love is all those things. It's kindness, it's not keeping a record for wrong. So it's just when you show up, can I be good? Can I be kind? It may not be, I'm very enthusiastic, I'm
not going to look for you to show you love.
In that sense. Also,
when you show up, I'm kind.
That's love as well.
All right. So, what did you do? This question is, what should I do with all our memories and shared stuff?
Memories and shared stuff. So, this example came to my mind. There's an ex who bought me a very nice shoe. I loved it. It was a great boot. And then we broke up. I was not going to throw away that shoe. It was like one of the best shoes I liked. I wore it, and in time I even forgot who had bought it. So I kind of hear, there are times I hear this attitude of trash all the memories, destroy everything that speaks to the fact that you were ever together. Again, I think it can be a yes or no situation.
Yeah, true. That's what I was about to say.
Exactly. There are some memories that are not necessary to keep, especially the very emotional memories. Pictures, things that you framed of great moments. Now, for me, I'm not a picture person. I'm not a playlists person. So
But
I didn't
my
have.
love,
So I didn't have.
pictures.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been very easy for me. Like I was thinking, of the 365 photos we have taken in the last 2 weeks, I probably have 2 left, and we've not even broken up. So I just get rid of pictures, whether there's a breakup or not.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So in the context of a breakup, it's
okay.
easy for me to get rid of pictures
you wouldn't
because
have.
they don't mean anything. I don't like storing up photos in that sense. But then there are people where pictures are sentimental, like they browse them, then they are crying, then they are so attached. It makes sense for you to get rid of those things that bring pain. I kept those shoes because they did not bring pain. They didn't remind me of a past I wanted to forget. So you have to choose.
In a situation where, like the shoes, your shoes were really cool and all that, but if, like, whenever I look at them or put them on, I am like, oh my god, and whatnot. In that case,
it would make sense. It would make sense.
I give them out to charity.
Yeah, it would make sense to find a way to get rid of things that bring back the pain, but also there are things you cannot really get rid of, like let's say in cases of divorce where there's children and where children can bring back bad memories. Well, you can get rid of children. I was just trying to create. I was just trying to create a scenario that is more difficult. If they bought you a car,
give it back. I'm like, guys,
maybe you better cry in that car. Maybe you better cry in that car and just keep.
And don't use a border.
But I'm just saying, it's just good to pick, and I think your priority should be to heal and be in a better place. And I think the memories that make that difficult, it's better that you get rid of them. And then those that do not have a bearing on that and that you feel you can keep, you should keep. In any way, the honest truth is that you never really forget.
True.
Yeah, you never really forget.
But
the pain goes.
The pain, like heart. When I remember or recall, it doesn't come with the same emotions.
Exactly. And then we should also talk about people who like to keep memories. I mean, these are minorities, not a Christian group of people, but there are people who like to keep memories in order to hang on to a relationship or to rebound, or to cause healing difficult for the person they broke up with. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. But I'm wondering,
I hold on to things so that the healing is difficult for the other person.
How? Like
I thought the healing would be hard for me.
No. Like maybe for me, I'm the offender. I'm the one who broke up, but I don't want you to heal. And so I am holding memories, throwing them in your face. I just give an example of these friends. Now this is not me. There are these friends who are very close. They supported the same soccer team. They were so passionate about football, and so they bought themselves like very nice Arsenal jerseys and stuff. And so when they broke up, the guy was trying to do his best to kind of forget and heal. And then every time he was doing a good job, the girl would just show up in her Arsenal jersey with his name at the back, and he'll just go back to his car bulking in tears. And they'll tell her, please, you even don't have to come. You don't even like football that much.
How about those ones? Like, I come putting on the jersey, I come with another guy. Like, so guys can be weird. And that's just big childish. And I don't know.
There's definitely people who want to make it difficult for
Don't be
others
that
to
person.
heal.
Don't be that person.
Oh, yes,
don't be that person, please. Anyhow, priority in all this is your healing. Don't keep stuff at the cost of your healing. Let your healing take priority. All right. How do I know if I'm ready to date again?
How do I know?
I want to also ask the second question.
Okay.
How do I know if I'm ready to date again? And then, just because I am not yet in another relationship, does that mean I'm not yet healed?
Oh, okay. So you can get healed before you get into another relationship. In fact, I would think that it would be better to get healed first. Before you get into another relationship.
And then also key thing there is, please celebrate this win. You have healed. This is an important thing. You've managed to get over a relationship. It's not a small thing. Celebrate it.
Yeah. It's very important. So how do you know that you're healed? Because you need to know that you're healed, that to get into another relationship. I'm going to tell you a very interesting concept which is used with prisoners. It's called recidivism. It's an English word, but it's commonly used with prisoners. Now recidivism is the rate at which people bounce back into the crime for which they were arrested and imprisoned for. So like you're a prisoner, you've stolen a chicken, and so you get sentenced to 6 months. And so when you're 6 months in prison, you're rehabilitated, you're so sorry, so I'm not going to do it again. I'm good, I'm healed, you even get saved in the prison, you get into the prison fellowship, and then your sentence ends, you get back into the community. And so what is observed is that there are very many instances where that prisoner goes back straight to the theft, to the thing that, it doesn't necessarily mean that they did not heal. It just means that there are things around you that can trigger you back into it. So sometimes we judge people that they have not healed because of what happens when they're in the next relationship. It's not necessarily true. You can heal and then make the same exact mistake.
I was actually going to say that the prisoner goes back and steals the chicken because they have forgotten, So they've actually, in this case, they've healed.
So recidivism studied the circumstances that cause the theft. They have nothing to do with your healed. It's probably poverty.
I'm just saying.
So when like psychologists are addressing recidivism, they are trying to eliminate the triggers that cause that behavior, even for a person who has fully recovered from that behavior. Same with addictions and alcoholism. And so just to bring it in the context of relationships is sometimes people judge themselves to not have healed just because they have repeated something that they did in a previous relationship. It's not necessarily true. You could have healed, but you're not paying attention to the triggers that lead you to making that mistake. You just have to be careful. So you're healed, but you have to walk more carefully in that sense.
Like to know that trigger.
Yes, but how do you know you're healed? When there's no pain, when the memories don't bring pain. I think that's the first step, when you are no longer hurting, because you've had that common statement of hurt people hurt others.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so when you're experiencing pain, you will relate to a certain extent from the lens of pain. Yes, and so it comes with there can be a few ways in which that shows. Maybe you're not trusting, you're not fully open, or you're guarded. Yeah, so when there is no pain of the memory, that's a good signature. That's a good sign that you're healing. But then the second thing that shows that you're healing is when you have addressed your contribution to the breakup. Yeah, when you've had a fair assessment of what did I do wrong to cause this to happen, and how can I do differently. It's also wisdom. When you have the wisdom to do it differently, I can consider that healing as well. But like I said, no pain. God has worked on your heart, has restored it. You have addressed that spiritual aspect of healing your heart. And then the second one is you have enough wisdom to do differently the next time where you did wrong. So when you are equipped with those two things, then you can say, I'm now fully healed. I can go back again. Yes, and it's good to heal and not be in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's good to heal and enjoy not being in one. But also once you have healed, you know that you can go and have a great one.
Yeah.
You could still make a mistake, but it will not necessarily be that you haven't healed. It's just that you healed and you still made a mistake.
Yeah.
So that's
what I would say. Human. Yeah. So would you stay friends with your ex, or should I stay friends with my ex?
Stay friends. Stay friends. I'm trying to decide which one is the general rule and which one is the exception. Yeah, because there's a place for both. But I'm just trying to think about what's the general rule. I think the general rule is do not, but there are exceptions. Like I told you, there are people whose exes are workmates. And so there needs to be a level of friendship, cordiality to co-work even when you are exes. So
But also, I think the level of friendship maybe looks different.
It definitely looks different. Yeah, but I'm just saying, when I was at university, I had to remain friends with my ex because I needed her to pass. So if I went all and said no friends, no connection, it would be to my loss in that incident. Yeah. So it's situational to be judged with wisdom. But what you need to watch is that that this friendship does not compromise your healing if you need it.
Yeah.
If you need it, and again, that is why you're talking about the boundary in which the friendship can occur is very important, because if you don't define the boundary of the friendship, the healing may remain difficult. Because if you're recovering from a relationship, and then I'll just give you an example. When I was out of that very serious relationship, and then I saw my ex on a date with somebody else. Now we're not friends, but I saw this photo like maybe 1 week after. So I was like, oh no, how quickly,
one week after.
Yeah, 1 week after.
Or maybe you overthought it.
Exactly. But now imagine that you're so close, and you know every small thing that's happening. You're setting up yourself to feel that way often, and then compromising. I just saw it once and I never saw anything again, because we were not in the same environment to remain friends per se. But again, like I said, it's contextual. There are people in church who can break up and they are serving and they need to be on teams. The spiritual family aspect still is there, and so there needs to be a level of friendship that happens for that spiritual family thing to continue, even when there has been a breakup. And so there needs to be wisdom. Just make sure that there's enough boundaries for the healing to happen. Not just healing, there's also enough boundary to avoid like rebounds, unnecessary attachment. Some people can remain so attached to their exes, and the friendship just perpetuates that attachment in that sense. So again, but there are some people who could be exes but also business partners. So there's a level of cordiality required for the business to continue to flourish. So it's circumstantial. True. But you have to make sure that whatever the circumstance, your healing must not be compromised, and bad habits like rebounds and unnecessary attachment, making it difficult for the relationships that are happening. Sometimes your ex is pursuing another relationship, or you are, and your friendship can become a problem, a hindrance to them or even to you. And so you have to make sure
you're still friends with your ex.
Exactly. Exactly. Your exes, but you're going out for coffee, yet there's a relationship that someone else is pursuing. So
can just be complicated.
So the friendship thing needs to be tackled with a lot of wisdom.
True.
But the priority should be that healing is happening, but also you're not compromising the other relationships that both of you may be aspiring to get into. In that sense.
This is not just hindering you from like moving forward, progressing. I think that one is really case by case and can be tricky. Not like a church family, you're not going to say we are not going to be friends at all. But that friendship can probably look different.
They can look
you
different.
You guys are on campus.
Workmates.
Workmates.
Business partners.
But then there are cases where I'm like, please,
I'll quit this job.
No, not I'll quit this job. We don't have to be friends. Stay in your lane, I stay in my lane. And the healing happens quickly.
There's always a way.
But then when we meet, we are cordial.
There's always a way.
Guys, anyway, just be kind. Be kind, be good.
I think the problem is that sometimes we are so fixated at trying to be friends that we can make healing difficult, or that we compromise the other relationships that we want to get into because of this friendship.
Okay. Now we are getting personal. So we've answered
already well.
Deeper. One stories. So we've gone through a couple of questions. Unfollowing your past. So now I want a story.
Okay.
What was how was that for you? What are some of the things that you did to facilitate your healing? And then also encourage us. The mere fact that I'm here
Oh yeah.
means that
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you unfollowed your past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they did
yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah.
job at it.
So yeah, let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah. So let
We want to know when you cried. Then when you are like, I got this, I am healed. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, in order to tell a good story, I'll need to share the story in the context of the relationship with the XH. It's called H, code name.
But his letters.
Yeah, because that was like a very serious relationship, which had moved further along. So there were circumstances around the breakup that made the healing easy, but there was still a lot of work I had to do. And you've heard this story, so this is just for the people who are listening.
Yeah, for you guys.
Yeah. So there was an engagement, and then after the engagement, she traveled to another country and found some work that she believed was more purposeful. And so
my awesome husband.
Yeah. So then she said, I'm not coming back to Uganda. The only way this can work is if you shift to this country X, where I had gone, and we figure out if stuff can happen here. Of course, I said no. I was like, well, the engagement happened here. The relationship has happened in the context of being here. So it's only right that the sacrifice must be made towards staying here, not towards moving to a foreign land. And so because of that back and forth, the relationship had to break. So the advantage is that she was in another country. So the chances of meeting her along the street occasionally were very low. Yeah, so that was that was an advantage for me. Yeah, but also there were a lot of like photos. So for me, the first thing that I had to get rid of is just evidence of a life together. Not that
even on the internet. The internet can keep things.
I mean, by then it was only Facebook, and I think it was doing a bad job. Yeah, but I went down. I tore down all those Facebook from my end. The Facebook posts.
That's why I didn't find anything.
Yeah, a few framed photos
when I went looking
here and there that I thought were a bit personal. Yeah, but also there are also things I said, this one doesn't remind me, or I like it so much. Let me wait a bit and watch if it's going to have that effect. Yeah, but the thing is that I also, that first step was accepting the reality of the breakup. And I think that a lot of times people go back and forth around accepting the reality, maybe with hope of a rebound, of a return. I don't know what exactly causes it, but there's that initial reluctance to move on. But so that was my first step. This is done, this is gone. How do I adjust accordingly? How do I live in a way that I accept the reality? I told a few people who were aware, so that they stop asking me, where's H? What's up? What's happening? Why we're waiting for the next steps? The photographers who had photographed the things, and people who had set up the surprise. Yeah, so
we had the yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I had to kind of reach out to a few of those people and say, oh, by the way, it's not happening. Of course, those were tough conversations. Oh, you were meant for each other. Like, oh, are you God?
What do they mean?
Yeah, like, what do they mean? Yeah, so that's the other thing that I did, as to just let people know, the people who knew how serious it was, to let them know that it was no longer an existent thing. And then I just cut off communication as well. Yeah, if you are very not important. My person, why do I have to call you? Why are we texting? Let me give,
but some people can be mean. Hey,
yeah, so
you're trying to heal, and they're busy in your inbox.
Yeah, I think for us it was kind of mutual in the sense that we're thinking the same way. So, but even when there was a straight text, once in a while, I just answered it with the distance that it deserved, to not imply anything else. Yeah. So cut off communication. I told people around me, got rid of some of those things that could bring back memories. And I spent time. I did not get into another relationship, but that's important. I spent time to just get over what had happened. And there were temptations around then to get into another relationship, because
some guy, single.
Think very highly of me, thank you very much. But so I kind of just said no. And and yeah, just said I'm not up to it. I'm just taking time to figure out what happened and just be in a good place. Yeah, so that was like my journey of dealing with it. And over time, I didn't even notice. Over time, I got so healthy and healed. I couldn't remember. The pain was all gone, and yeah, like I could tell that I was well. I could tell that I was well because I was completely healed. Of course, I engaged, like got into church and God. That was also very important, you know, to just recommit to a place where my heart could be mended. Yeah, that part that no human being could do. Yeah, so I just got a bit serious of my faith. The relationship had also kind of distracted me from faith. So I was like, yeah, I now have
coming back to the things.
Yes, exactly. I now have to go back to the things that I know to be true. Yeah, the breakup gave me the opportunity to reconnect with God in a very good way. Yeah, so I found healing there. I found friends who were not relationship interested, so that there was no pressure, but we're just doing life, not judging, you know, praying for me and things like that. So that was a bit my journey in terms of healing. And by the time you showed up on the scene, I was fully healed. I was fully healed.
You were fully healed.
Yeah, yes, I was fully healed. Yeah, with zero attachment.
Yeah. Did you have any issues over like self-worth, maybe? Because you know relationships sometimes do that. Like when you break up, how am I going to move on my own? Am I really maybe good enough for the next relationship? Did you have any such issues?
Yeah, so initially there was a temptation to do that, but I would like to believe that the way I countered that is to have an honest evaluation of what was really my contribution, because self-worth questions and esteem doubts about your esteem is just you trying to assign some responsibility to yourself. Maybe was I not good enough? It could have been why. Yeah, so asking the question of what is my responsibility is a fair thing to ask. But when you ask it intentionally, you're more likely to get right answers than when you just bury your head in the sand and give opportunity for things like esteem and self-doubt and not meeting the grade to spring up in your mind. So when I asked myself, I was like, oh, what did I do wrong? I was like, oh, maybe I didn't ask questions well. Maybe I saw this coming, but I was not able to talk about it openly, you know. I saw it building up, but I was scared and I wasn't talking about it. Yeah, so I was like, oh, what do I take it to the relationship? I need to talk about purpose very seriously, because purpose will trump relationship every day. And so those are lessons that I learned, you know, instead of just getting buried into the emotional lovey-dovey things of relationship, talk about purpose, see if that matches, find out that somebody see their life outside this country, for example. Because me who wants to perpetually build my country, and somebody who wants to stay in the nations.
What if so there's no possibility of us relocating?
Of course, right now the conversations should definitely technically different. But I'm just saying, like for example, if I'd met you and you are working on a visa to go to the United Arab Emirates, I would have known that purpose-wise, it's not adding up. Yeah, but with this person, and the signs were always there.
What if I'm going to the United Arab Emirates and coming back?
Yeah,
I think it's talking about the hard things.
Yeah, it's talking about the hard things.
So really. That you're on the same page.
Yeah, so yes, I think when a relationship ends, everybody loses. Everybody loses, but also everybody gains.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because there are lessons. And then as believers, we know that when Paul was writing to the Romans, you know, he told them that all things work out for the good of those who love him and called according to his purpose. Yes. and you see, it may not feel like that in the instance, but that's the thing that a relationship with God does.
Yeah.
And for me, that's part of the place where the healing came, because then I received the assurance from God.
But this is working out for good.
Everything is working out for good. I'm setting you up for something better.
I have a
in
story.
That sense. So that's it. That's it.
So anywho, I think this story that I want to share, like my circumstance is completely different from yours. So I was in what they call a submarine relationship, cocaine relationship, and I didn't know.
Undercover agent.
Yeah, so for our viewers to get what a submarine relationship, I was being hidden, guys. Beautiful me, being hidden. Anywho, I was being hidden, but I didn't know. I realized this like after the relationship had ended.
The hider was doing a good job.
Yeah, very good, guys. I was in love. They say love can be foolish. Yeah. And from that relationship, guys, I no red flags for submarine relationships. I can be saying, guys, I'm like, please, just feel that relationship. You are being hidden. Yeah. Anywho, so when that relationship ended, on my end, I was asking myself questions of like, wasn't I good enough? Yeah. Like, why? Because now in this relationship, there are two people involved. I'm like, so why did they not choose me? And then I think for a moment, maybe I'd call it like insecurity or something like that, because I was willing to take back this person, if they came back. And at some point, I was even maybe as if prompting them, like, we can make this work. What? Guys, I look back and I'm like, Jesus, thank you for saving me and all. And then also, like when I think about it, like this person would really say silly things like, women, or like you go for a function and then a mean comment, like they say that we have got a cooker. Like looking at wives as maybe cookers, washing machines, things like that. And I was tolerating that stuff and all. And in that moment, anywho, I was not seeing the good that the Lord had done by ending this relationship, because I was accepting less than what God wanted for me. It's okay to be looked at as cooker, washing machine, things like that.
You can't even wash.
Anywho, so the healing process for me, I think it happened when I made the quality decision that, you know what, this back and forth situationship has to end. Because in fact, I think it went on like for maybe a year. Like there's a year of silence, but then when this person shows up, then you're like, okay, maybe we can make this work and all that and blah, blah, blah. Like, let's go out, etc. Until I put my foot down. I'm like, even if they call me, Rian, let's go for a movie, I'll be like, no. Like, I had to first make that quality decision that there's no more. Like, we are done. Yeah. Even if I want to, my answer is going to be no. Yeah. And the interesting thing, or the supernatural thing, like when I made that decision, then it even became easy. Like I didn't realize, like when they called, it came easier than I thought.
To say no.
Yeah. To say no and all. So, anywho, for some of you who could be in a relationship or were in a relationship that is similar to mine. So sometimes you have to make that quality decision, even when you don't know how you're going to, I don't know, move forward, how it's going to work out. You're like, no, this ends now and all.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
You guys don't allow to be in submarines. You're too cool, too cool. Anywho. Good conversations always come to an end. Always come to an end. Guys, if you have connected with this, let me see. Am I doing a heart? Yeah. Just drop a heart in the comments to let us know that, oh, this has been nice. But before we close, I just want you to pray for anyone out there who wants to get into this healing journey. And also, guys, just be reminded, but Nathan will tell you in his own words, you can actually, like, healing is possible. This is not the end for you. It's a start of something else, though you don't see it. You're just seeing that it's an end. Yeah, and there's a good plan for you. Yeah, so before you pray, just encourage
the
people.
And like you said, like the title of the conversation, it's possible to unfollow the past and to remember it without the pain and the hurt that it caused you in the moment. And like I said, there is a lot of wisdom in the things you can do, but most importantly, there's a lot of power in taking your heart to God, so
true.
He can mend it.
True.
Yeah, so He can restore it.
Yeah.
And so just anybody who could be in a situation now or at any time, just know you have God, and He can do a lot of things in your heart and with your heart that you could not possibly do by yourself.
Yeah.
All right, can you pray?
Yeah, can I just say something small before you pray? Yeah. I know we are talking about relationships and healing from relationships, but just in the context of healing and pain, guys, I think the principles that have been shared here applied. So whatever healing you need to go through, yeah, just apply the things we've shared here and all. Yeah, God heals.
All right, cool. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, we thank you for love, for relationships, and for just people being together in relationships and discovering your purpose for life together. And we know that it comes with pain, and whoever may be experiencing that pain, we just speak that you heal them. Holy Spirit, just touch those places in their hearts that only you can find and touch. Your scriptures remind us that you can mend a broken heart and can restore the joy of those who are healing. And so we pray that may they find the courage to find you, to open up to you, to surrender to you, so that they can find total healing in you. We know that you have good plans for us, plans to prosper us and to give us a hope and a future that is good. And so we even know right now that you're writing good stories in spite of the pain. You're writing good futures in spite of heartbreak for everybody who is believing you for that. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thanks for coming to Candid Conversations.
Thanks for hosting me. I'm a
come
big fan.
Again. Oh, yeah.
Big fan.
Come again. We've come to the end of today's Candid Conversations. But please, like, share, subscribe. I'm sure this will be good for someone. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.